Good morning, my beautiful friends. Have I got a story for you today that has been unfolding over the last 2 weeks? And it is not something that I expected I'd be talking to you about right now, but that's what happens when you follow the breadcrumbs, when you follow the signs from the universe, that sometimes the universe knows or your soul knows what you need and not what you think that you want. I'm going to share with you a story that's evolved over the last 2 weeks. It started off as a big challenge, a big like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me, not right now moment, to driving out with a new car yesterday that had been a big part of my vision and been on my vision board, but not something that I would be doing at the moment. And actually, even part of the car on my vision board has changed, and I'll explain that to you as well. So let me start with yesterday, and then I'm going to jump back to 2 weeks ago. So as I was talking to Tom last night, we were kind of talking about the car that I bought, how it's all evolved. And I said, this is going to make a great podcast. There's so many lessons in this. There's so many empowering stories in this. There's so much lessons of trust that I need to share with you guys, and how I went from this feeling of, oh my gosh, like such a challenge that I've got to get through, to, okay, this has turned out the way it's meant to be for this time in my life and what my soul actually needed for me to level up, for me to move forward, and for me to really step into this ideal future self version of me. Telling Tom, okay, I'm going to do this podcast. He goes, you're going to tell them what kind of car you got? I don't think you should. And I went, yeah, I kind of understood what he was saying. I went, yeah, I will, because it has to make sense with the story. Anyway, I got a Range Rover Evoque. And the reason he was saying that is we're both very humble. He's very humble. We're not showy people. It's just the way we are. And this is not about me having a Range Rover. I actually don't care about brands. It's because I think it's a gorgeous looking little car, not even anything to do with the label of the car, but I will talk to you about what it there's elements of it that represent this kind of version of me now. And so I had that conversation with him. And again, that really brought something up in me for me to be like, yeah, I need to be proud of what I have actually achieved in this process, and just share with you how it is coming from this place of soul and not from ego, because a lot of what I want to share with you guys throughout this podcast is from ego to soul, is returning to your authenticity, is learning to trust in yourself, is learning to nourish yourself, but trust in your guidance, trust in your intuition, and trust in the unfolding of things for you. So I want to share with you the story of the unfolding, which is not what I thought I would be sharing with you today. So I drove home yesterday. I'll tell you a bit about yesterday, and then I'll go back 2 weeks ago. So I drove home yesterday out of this beautiful lady's driveway, driving this car, and I had the sunroof open, because for me something that was really important was lights, right? So I had the lights streaming in. I'm driving out. Xavier Rudd's song comes on. I've got this Jack Johnson playlist I love. It's got hundreds of songs. Xavier Rudd's song comes on, Follow the Sun. I drive out and I start crying, and the tears come from a whole jumble of emotions that kind of really come up to me in the moment. One, it was achieving something that I wanted to achieve. Two, it was, I met just the alignment of this story, the alignment of how it came about, the alignment of the beautiful woman that I bought the car from, the alignment of, the alignment, but the season that was coming to an end for me. Because I looked in the back of this car, there were no kids in the car. This is a representation of a new season for me, where I've kind of gone from the maiden to the mother, to that kind of that matriarch mother, into that wise woman, and kind of stepping into this new season of my life, which is a big representation of what I'm going through at the moment, and what I didn't even realize that I had to let go of. It all kind of just come to an end yesterday, and I'm driving out. This song comes on, Follow the Sun, because it's just, I love this song, and the energy of the light and the sun is just so empowering for me, that it was just such a beautiful divine moment. I'm crying, driving this new car home, crying. I'm thinking, thank God my husband can't see me right now. He'd be like, you're an idiot. What the hell's wrong with you? But you guys will get it right. And when I tell you this story, you'll fully understand. So let me take you back a couple of weeks ago. So a few weeks ago, I had a few issues with my car. I have had this Jeep Grand Cherokee, black one. I've loved it. And I was going to kind of think about upgrading it before this house unfolded. I got this house, this come about, and I'm like, I'll just put that back to the back burner. I got it like in 2014, so I got it brand spanking new, and I had it for, so it's coming on to 11 years. And this car has been amazing. I've loved this car. And don't laugh, but one of the reasons I absolutely love this car so much is the steering wheel heats up. It's got some beautiful little extras. Back for 11 years ago, like that was a big thing. Like we had a front seats that heat up, back seats that heat up. My little mirrors, as I reversed, the little mirrors would kind of angle down so you would see like the lines on the car park, so I'd angle down. But I love my heated seats and my heated steering wheel because I go to the studio so early and I've been an early riser for many years. I would just like hug my steering wheel as I would drive. So I really love the warmth of the steering wheel. And I know, ridiculous, right? But anyway, I love that. And my car was just, there was no reason to replace it. I think Tom's gone through 5 cars in the time that I've had this one. But I only did like 134,000 in this Ks in this car. A lot of my work was either from home or around the corner. And this car was just, it had been so good to me. And I just thought it was when I got it at the time, it was a sexy looking car. I'd see these cars kind of back, 11 years ago. And I go, Tom, I really like the look of those little those Jeep Grand Cherokees in the black. They look really beautiful. Anyway, so I had that car for 11 years. Had a couple of things happen with it. Back in around November, December, I had to, engine light oil light come on. Anyway, had to get towed like down to, took it down to Jeep and got them to, they had a few issues. They got it all sorted. I was without a car for like 6 weeks because this all happened over the time that we went into Christmas period. And we went into that period where everything shuts down. And like, I didn't care. I was just kind of juggling between my cars, sometimes use Riley's little Wrangler. And I was happy to be a hermit in this house because we'd been like working full on renovating this house, that I was happy to kind of just chill here over that Christmas kind of period and not have to go out. So I didn't care that I didn't have a car for like 6 weeks. We made it work. And then everything, got it all fixed, got it back on the road. And then I was literally driving home from an International Women's Day where I met Sally Watson, who I'm working with at the moment. And I'm driving home from that, and something goes on with my car again, like a light flashes. And anyway, I won't go into all the details. I had to send it back to Jeep, right? Had to send it back. I get a phone call from them going, the engine has died. There's been some shards of metal that have kind of come from these crank bearings, have gone through the oil filter, gone through the system, which is why this oil light was on, blah, blah, blah. The engine's died. It's going to cost you like $20,000 to replace the engine. I'm like, you're kidding me. It's worth more than my car at the moment. Once your car gets over 10 years old, it's not worth that much, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't, I can't really justify spending all that money to replace the engine, even getting a second-hand engine. And I was having a conversation with the guy on the phone from Jeep. And I said to him, you're telling me I was in a funny way. I was not rude, right? So I was having a bit of banter with this guy. And I said to me, you're telling me that I have got a car that I've done 134,000 kilometers in. I am the woman that has never driven this 4-wheel drive off-road because my husband we've always had 4-wheel drive utes or something. So I've never driven it off-road. I service it all the time. I literally drive it around the corner to work. It's been such a great car. I've looked after it. I've only had it for like going on 11 years. And you're telling me my engine has died when my son has this 45-year-old fucking 80 series Land Cruiser. This is what I'm saying. Earmuffs, kids. I'm like, he's got like a 45-year-old fucking engine in it that is still going, and you're telling me that I have a car that I've looked after, not driven off-road, 134,000 Ks, 11 years, pretty freaking good, and I have to replace the engine? And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I hate making these kind of phone calls. I'm laughing with him. I said, look, it's fine. It's not your fault. It's nothing that, it's not your fault. Anyway, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, you're kidding me. All of this is happening at the same time. I've got this older house. And if I go back like 10 years ago, we built our house, right? So we built our house in the suburbs, new house. I had a new car at that time. We had like new jet ski, like, and then we've got into this place where we are now. We've got an older house we're renovating. Excuse me, an older house we're renovating. My car's just hit that same time. And now at the same time, right? We had all these unexpected expenses with the reno, that more than cosmetic expenses, just, a lot more money. This always happens when you're renovating. Everyone talks about that. And even with the Jeep, I could hear people saying like, we said like, this thing's always happened to Jeeps, don't buy a Jeep. And I'm like, man, this car has been brilliant for 10, 11 years, not one issue. And now that it's happened, like at this stage in my life, at this stage of the car's life, it's like happened all at once. People are like, oh, I told you not to buy a Jeep. I'm like, shut the hell up. This car's been great for me for like 10, 11 years. I've not outlaid any money on it until now, but now it's like big. So if you're thinking that, don't worry, I've heard it. Everybody said the same thing to me. But I don't care. I've loved this car, right? It's really served me good. And so we've hit a stage at the moment where we spent a lot more money on the renos. The jet ski has literally, around that cyclone season as well, the supercharger went on the jet ski. And again, we haven't upgraded it because the kids are out there with their friends, like they're flogging it, whatever, go out and we don't care, just have fun on it. I would be more annoyed if they were out there flogging our newer jet skis. So we haven't bothered replacing it, right? So that's, the jet ski's gone. And now my car, every single thing has happened all at once. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, this is not what I need right now, is to be spending money on a car. And we have literally, I want to kind of paint a bit of a picture for you. So we paid our house off before we moved into this one. And then we've got like these line of credits. We've literally drawn everything, almost everything back on these line of credits as we've been doing the renovations. And I'm like, I would rather use what's left because I don't want to go and borrow any more money at the moment. And I would rather use what's kind of left to do some more work on my house and not spend it on a car. I had a plan to do a car next year, right? That was in my plan. So all of this is like, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm feeling frustrated. I'm like, what the hell is going on, universe? Like, why are you doing this to me right now? I was sitting in the emotion of anger, of frustration, of feeling like, why me? Like, why now? Why is all this happening? I've got other things I want to spend my money on. Anyway, sitting in this funk of feeling all of these emotions. I'm like, you got to feel these emotions. These are important to feel these emotions. So I would sit out in my Zen zone. I would go and I would ground. I would go and have a swim out by the water. I would try and like calm my nervous system. And I would ask for guidance. Like, why is this happening right now? And anyway, so I'm doing the things I did. I got back to a good state and I'm like, there's always a lesson in everything, okay? I will figure this out. I always figure stuff out. Like I'm resourceful. I always work things out. So I'm sitting with that, calm my nervous system down. I'm talking to my sister on the phone, having a chat with her. And she said to me, she goes, Lise, this is the last part of you that you need to get rid of. And I went, you're right. It dawned on me. She goes, you got this new house, like you got this new stage of your life. Yeah, I know you're spending money on it. Yeah, I know you're renovating it. But this has been your dream. Like this has been your dream to get out by the water. And so you've kind of ticked that off, like you're leveling up in certain ways. She goes, your car is the last part of that old version of you. And I went, oh my God, Stace, like you're right. This is like literally this last version of me that is, and I sat with this, I got off the phone from her and I sat with this and I'm like, this is a season in my life where I've been driving the kids around in this car. I've been picking their friends up, taking them to school, sports, friends, like doing all the things. This doesn't happen for me anymore. I look in the back seat and there's no one there. Like I'm driving myself. And do I need a car of this size? But more importantly, I've changed seasons and this car is part of my last season, and I'm sitting at the moment over the last couple of months around big goals that I want to do for my business, big goals of what I want to do moving forward over the next couple of years. So I've got all these dreams and goals and ambitions of what I want to do, but this car kind of represents this last version of me. And this car also represents, it's not just the mothering role. So there's things that I want to do. And there's reasons that I've been holding back on myself is because I have had, like, I've seen Tom grow business wise in what he has been doing in his career. Talking about this career circle, right? I've seen him progress. There's things I want to do. I've got goals that I want to do. Part of me feels like, like I'd love to be the breadwinner, so that he's given me opportunity when the kids were young. I could stay at home, be at home with the kids. There was no pressure for me to go back to work. So he's really done that for me. I opened the studio, and I've been doing, like, my personal training business, the studio, with the support from him as well, with the support, financial support, the emotional support, the relationship support. I've had this support from him the whole time. And there's certain things I know that he wants to progress in with his career, that part of me, I want to take care of money so that he can go and do what he wants to do and not feel the pressure, right? Because the male often feels like this pressure of being the breadwinner. So they might stay in a role where they know it's safe, they know they're providing for the family. Whereas I felt like part of me is I want to progress with my business ideas. Part of me is sitting in this energy of I'm the housewife. Every time I go and do something for my business or get uncomfortable in it's taking more time, it's taking more energy away from my roles at home, away from, because as I step more into this business role, sometimes dinner's not done properly. Sometimes, the house isn't done properly. There's things that take me away from that mothering role, that I kind of sit in this 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in business Lisa, 1 foot in mother Lisa. And I keep bringing myself back to this safe zone of maybe I just need to be more of the mothering role. Maybe I just need to sit in this identity. And it keeps this limiting belief in my mind to go, oh, it's not safe for me to really push hard with my business and career goals, because then it's going to take me away from being a good housewife. Then it's going to take me away from caring for my husband. Then it's going to take me away from not being there for my kids. And I've sat with that for a couple of years now, right? This 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And when Stace said that to me around the car being the last part of me to die, that needs to go, I'm like, she's right, because that part of me that wants to be the successful businesswoman, that wants to really take the lead a lot more with money goals, with finances, is how would she, and I started to see this identity, right? See this ideal future self. Now I have had this car, I got my vision board of all different things that I want to do have, be, become, all of that, right? And I have had on my vision board for a long time a black Range Rover Sport. I think they're a sexy as car, not for the label, not for the brand. I just go, they're a fucking good looking car. That's what would go through my head when they would drive past, right? And I had on there like a picture on my vision board too of the interior of the car. Now that my kids are older, like this white lounge I would not have had when my kids were younger, of a beautiful interior, like of the white, the white, the grey, all the stuff was on my vision board as well. And I started thinking about, what would this ideal future self version of me drive? The businesswoman version of me, okay? What would she drive? She would not be having the family car anymore. She would be having her sporty little runaround car that feels in alignment with the representation of that kind of businesswoman aspect of her. Because I've had trouble like seeing myself as this successful businesswoman. I'm great at what I do. I'm great with people. I'm great with teaching. I'm great in the community. I'm great with sharing. Like there's so many things I'm great with, but I just felt this a bit of a disconnect, or this bit of lack of, I'm not good enough with the money side of things like my husband, and I got not good enough with running the business side of things like my husband or other women that I would see. And there would be other women that are successful in the business role, and I never wanted to neglect that nurturing mother part of me. I never wanted for the successful businesswoman to come at a cost of my home life, and come at a cost of nurturing my kids, and come at a cost of looking after my husband. But then I've realized I'm a season in my life, right? My kids now, they're like 18 and 20, 19, 21 this year. I can step into that version of her, and I'm safe to do it because they're okay. My family's okay. They're taken care of. Yes, they're always going to need me, but not in that capacity. This is a time for me to step into my power. This is a time for me to step into that businesswoman aspect of me. But for me, it's an aligned businesswoman. I've got goals on my vision board and I've got successful, aligned businesswoman. So it's not just about money. It's aligning with my passion. It's aligning with my purpose. It's aligning with service. But yes, money is a part of that as well, right? And I thought about there's certain elements of this Black Range Rover Sports that I've had on my vision board. And in the last 6 months or so, and I'd write down things that I wanted, I would just write down, like, it wouldn't be so much anymore, I want this Black Range Rover Sports. It would be like, I couldn't even put a label on the car. And I started writing about what I want the car to feel, like how I want to feel. And I started thinking more about light. Like, I'm just attracted to light. This house is more light and open. I've got my white lounge. I like this earthy angel, like this angel representation of white. I love being out in the sun. I love being surrounded by light. So I started thinking, what do I want in a car? I want a car to be lighter feeling in the interior. I started looking at some cars and I started getting attracted to more of a white car and this kind of, white, because I still think they're a sexy car. And look at, sometimes I see these white Range Rover Evoques go past and I go, they're a bit, they're a bit cute. They're a bit kind of sporty, but fun. But I still want to be able to have seats go down. I still want to be able to put my dogs in the back if I need to. If I got to pick up stuff for the studio, or I still want to be able to be self-sufficient. So I don't want a little car. I want a medium-sized car, but I don't need the bigger mum car anymore to fit or lug all the kids around and lug all the stuff in. So I started looking at this Evoque over the last couple of months. It just got my attention, right? Like, I wasn't out there looking for it. It got my attention when it would go past. And so I was kind of sitting with that and I was thinking, what do I want to feel in a car? So what I want to feel is light. I want to have a sunroof where the light comes through when I'm driving out through the cane fields. I want to feel the light come through, because sometimes I'd be driving along, morning sun or afternoon sun, and I'd just be like, it would hit me and I'd be like, I would actually say that out loud, and I would feel like this beautiful sun. And I thought, I want to feel in my car light and airy and embodying this energy of light. That's really important to me. So, and I want to feel like it's this next version of me outside of the mum car. And so that's kind of how I want to feel. I want to feel that I guess just, it's more about the energy. It's more about the feeling. It's not about a name of the car. It's not about a brand. It's not about, let me go with where I was going to go with that. It's not about what this car represents to other people on the outside. It's how it makes me feel on the inside, right? So anyway, I'm having this chat with my sister. I go and I do some clearing. I start thinking about what she says. I'm writing down, I'm journaling about all of this stuff, writing it all out. I jump on Facebook and an ad comes up for this white Range Rover Sports, and it has all of the white interior in it. And I'm like, that's cool. Let's just go check it out, Tom. Like, it was in a price range. It was an older one. It was in a price range I could afford, that I wanted to spend at the time. Let's go check it out. Go down, have a look at it. I loved it. I loved it. It had the black roof. I loved it. It had the white, the light interior. I love that it had the black wheels. I take it for a drive and it just feels so nice. I'm talking to the guy, it doesn't have heated seats. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, am I going to compromise on something that I really want? And it was like a 2017 model or something. And I'm like, I need heated seats. Anyway, and I thought about it, I thought, but it's so nice. Like, I really love it. And I ring up the next day, it's been sold. I'm like, cool, whatever. It's not meant to be. So anyway, then I don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of car to get. I'm sitting with this, like, trust. It'll just come up when it's meant to. My mum's like, borrow my car for a little while. Don't rush into it. So I'm like, that's fine. So I'm borrowing her car for a little while. And then I start to think, I actually think I want to get a smaller car. I think to myself, after sitting in that Range Rover Sports, as beautiful as it is, as beautiful as it was on my vision board, and at this point, that was still on my vision board, right? The black Range Rover Sports. And I'm like, I don't need a car that big anymore. It's still like I'm going to be driving by myself. I drive by myself everywhere. Our whole family has got four-wheel drives. Riley's got a Wrangler. Brock's got his 80 series cruiser that he loves. Tom's got like a beautiful black Ranger. And I'm like, I don't need a big car that size anymore. Okay, I'm going to start looking at some Evoques. I start looking at some Evoques. And I start liking, and in the carsales.com, I start liking the ones that align for me. And some of them they're white. So I go, okay, my next car is white. I just want that angelic light energy feeling. I want a white car. There's a car, I start looking, researching, I want a black roof. I don't want, some of them have the black, but then the top's white. I want a black roof. I want a sunroof. I want black wheels. I want the interior. It's got to have heated seats. It's got to have heated steering wheels, a bonus. I know they're hard to get, but that's a bonus. I want it to be modern, like feeling in the, I want it to feel different to what my Jeep felt like. I want more of a modern interior. I want it to feel different. I like a light interior. I want to feel light in my interior. And so I'm ticking off all these things. I like the one that has, as I'm researching, some have like the little spoiler at the back. Go, that's cute. I like that one. I'll pop that one in there. And so I'm liking these cars, and I find one that I like, and I'm like, it was about $60,000. I'm like, I don't really want to spend that at the moment. We don't have a garage because we're renovating. I don't want to spend a huge amount of money. But I'm just kind of putting in like my short list of things that I like. Anyway, I go for a walk with Riley, and we're out walking one morning, and Riley said to me, Mum, like the light interior? She goes, maybe you just have to get one that comes up with a grey or black interior, because you look through them and 90% of them have got the black or the grey, like the full grey or the full black interior. She goes, maybe you have to get one of those. And I said, because they're harder to find the one that you want within the price that you want to spend. And I said, Riley, I only need one. Like, I only need one car to come across. That's it. And she's like, yeah, but maybe it's, maybe it's a little bit too hard. It's not that easy to find that one. And I went, Riley, don't think like that. Like, it can be that easy. I only need one. And as we're walking, I said, look, Riley, there's my bluebird up in the tree. Like, just randomly, the little bluebird was sitting up in the tree. And I said, look, Riley, there's a white feather on the ground. I said, I'm not compromising on my dreams. I'm not compromising, because I know I only need one. There is one out there that is going to show up for me, and it'll be the right one. So I get home, and my good friend Cobus texts me. He sends me a photo. He goes, look at this, Lise. He goes, it's my first client of the day, and it was in a white with a black roof Range Rover. He sends me a photo. I'm like, cool, bank that. Riley, she texts me after our conversation the next day. She texts me photos of these white Range Rovers. She goes, Mum, I'm seeing them everywhere now, and she's sending me photos. I'm like, yep, bank that. It's a sign. It's a sign. It's going to align. It's okay. It's going to align. Anyway, my friend Cobus, he keeps sending me like links on car sales. He's sending me links. Lise, check this one out. And I'd look at it and I'd go, it's he sent me like 6 or something. And there was a thing that, not wrong with, but there was a thing that didn't align in every one. Like, he sends me one and I go, yeah, it's nice, but it's the interior is grey. I don't want a full grey interior. Okay. Half an hour later, I get a link come through of another one. I go, yep, it's nice, but the wheels are silver. I want black wheels. Anyway, he keeps sending these ones through. One, I went, okay, that's cool. Ring up about it, but it's sold. And I go, okay, it's sold. It's not meant to be. That's fine, because it ticked a lot of boxes. But it was sold. I'm like, okay, it's not meant to be. And it was a couple of years older, actually. That's right. It was, I think, a year or two older than what I wanted to get. And then he sends me another one. He goes, Lise, it's got like the light interior. It's got the black roof. It's got the black wheels. It's got everything. And I text him and I go, this is how we chat. And I go, it's fucking gold. Like, I said I wanted a white car, and we had this funny banter, and he writes back, he's like, Jesus, woman, you're such a hard woman to please. I said, I know what I want. Like, I absolutely know what I want. So I said, it's there. I just got to trust that it's there, right? So anyway, a little bit of time goes past, and this car that I had bookmarked, I liked everything about this car. And it comes up, I get an email from car sales going, it's dropped the price to $55,000. So 55 immediately sparks my interest. The other thing that I liked about this car, it ticked every box. All those boxes that I said I wanted, it ticked every one, including the heated steering wheel. And the thing that drew me to the car initially, the car was photographed by the water. And you know, obviously I love the water. It was photographed by the water, but it was out of my price range. So anyway, the car got dropped in price. I went, I'm just going to make a phone call, rung them up. Are you negotiable on price? You know, I don't want to waste your time coming down, but it's more than I wanted to spend. He said, yep, I'm negotiable. So anyway, I go and look at this car. And I start thinking to myself, as I'm driving down that day, hey, let me go back a step before this happened. That day, I see out of my window, I see 5 eagles, a whole group of 5 eagles circling overhead. And then I see one eagle by itself. And immediately I go 5-1 and I go, maybe I'll get this car for 51,000. Maybe, probably a little bit. My goal was about 50, but that's okay. Maybe it'll be 51. So I bank that. The car's available. I Tom, let's go have a look. He comes home with me, comes home from work, and he comes down with me and has a look at it. And as we're driving down, this day I saw sign after sign like you would not believe. So many signs. There was like a feather, there was something that come up in my Oracle card, so many signs. We're driving down and this 3 minutes away from this lady's house, there's a big rainbow, huge from start to finish. One of those rainbows that literally you just think, this is just stunning. I see this rainbow and it was in the direction over this lady's house. So I'm like, bank that sign, get there, go look at the car. I love it. Love everything about it. The lady's beautiful. It's one lady owner. She got brand new and she's flipping it over because of lease, and they're just flipping their cars over for the lease through their business. Service the whole time through Range Rover, like really, really beautiful car. And I'm like, it's a bit more than I wanted to spend. Anyway, we negotiate and she comes back at the price that I was looking at. The Eagles, the 5-1, 51,500. I went, okay, that's great. I gave her $500 cash deposit and we drove home. The fear starts kicking in. Like I'm going, I haven't even got an engine. Like, you know, I said to Tom, because I bought my car brand new. He bought his car from someone that he kind of, a neighbor of someone that he knew. And I'm like, oh, we even got this car checked out mechanically. Like I'm trusting that it's been serviced all the time. Like, you know, like she said, which it had. I've driven away. I've left some random with a $500 deposit without a receipt or anything. The fear starts kicking in, right? So I'm like, holy shit, is this okay? Is this okay? And I'm like, no, trust. Like, you know, all these signs have lined up, trust. So anyway, I have to send off the money for this car. So then what happens is I'm figuring out the finance. I go, I'll just draw it, you know, I'll draw it back from what we've got left on the available from the home loan. And part of me is kind of feeling like 2 things. One of, I was not ready to buy a car at this time. I did not want to spend the money. And secondly, this is kind of, I got this feeling of the words were popping in my head, burn your ships, you know, like, look, yeah, I can go and refinance everything, sort it all out. But I didn't want to. I just wanted to use that bit that I had left available and our line of credit. I didn't want to refinance and borrow more money. But I had this feeling of burn your ships. Like once you kind of use that last bit left available, that is it. Like this is like that nail in the coffin to make me go, I need to now step up to that level version of this businesswoman. I need to back it up with what I want to put out there. I need to get my butt into gear. No more procrastinating, no more doubting. Time for you to bring more money in. Time for you to get out of your comfort zone. No more coasting. Like you're going to have this car, man. You need to level up to that version of you that is driving this car. So all of that's kind of like so many thoughts are going through my head. And I'm driving home thinking, okay, I can do this. Next day, I'm like, I got to send the money. Like, how do we do this? I end up sending a telegraphic transfer because it goes in straight away because the bank that I'm with doesn't have that OSCO thing anyway. So I go to the bank and I ring Tom beforehand. I go, are you sure this is okay? Like, look, I felt really good about this woman. Everything that she told me checked out, I just felt really, really good. She'd upgraded to this beautiful new car and I just trusted her. But then the fear kicks in. I'm like, Tom, I'm sending like $51,000 to this lady. And it's not like I was happy to take cash. Like I'm happy to go down 51 grand cash. happy to do that. I wanted to get the car on this weekend because Tom's got so much work coming up. It just logistically made it easier for us to go and get on this weekend. And then I thought to myself, I'm literally transferring $51,000 to somebody I don't know. I'm not, it's that hard situation, right? Like when you buy a car that's not from a car dealership, or you're not trading your car in, because I'm still sitting with this car, my Jeep's still my driveway, that I literally have to sell off for parts, or sort that out to someone that wants to buy it and sell it off for parts. And so I don't have the money to really kind of trade in on this car, so I'm going to get nothing for it. So I'm sending money to somebody I don't know. I'm literally going on trust, and it's hard for her, you know, like if I give her, it's you got to think of both people. You're giving money and not walking away with the car yet, but they don't want to drive away, have someone drive away with their car that they haven't got the money cleared yet. So I'm like, all right, I'll go and do this telegraphic transfer. You'll get it in a couple of hours, and I'll come down and get the car. We're both happy. That's fine. But I've rung Tom with this fear of, oh my God. Anyway, go to the bank, go get the TT ready to draw up. It's all ready to go. The lady comes over and she goes to me, have you done a revs check? I go, what the hell's a revs check? Clearly not. I haven't done a revs check. I don't even know what it is. And she goes, oh, you know, like you check that it's not, you know, they don't owe money on it, that then the car's going to get repossessed. You drive away with this car and it gets repossessed off you because they still owe money on the car, or it could be a stolen car, all this kind of things. So I'm like, I'm in this chick's house. Like, I feel it's totally fine. I feel comfortable with her. But all of a sudden, then what happens? The bank lady puts fear in me, right? I'm like, oh, no, I haven't done a revs check. Should I be doing a revs check? And another lady comes over. The other lady says, because she had to ask her a question. I'm doing this revs check. The one teller asked the lady to tell her a question for where do I find the VIN on car sales or something. And she goes, what are you guys doing? And I told her. And the one teller's like, you know, you always got to check these things. Things can happen. I've seen this happen. I've seen that happen. And I'm like, I'm sitting in trust, but then all of a sudden I'm sitting in fear, right? And the other lady goes, oh, you don't trust anybody, you know, like you always freak out over everything. And she goes, I trust people. And I said, me too. Like I have this element of trust. And I got two ladies in front of me, one sitting in the, I don't trust anyone. I get fearful and have to check everything. And then the other lady sits in trust. And I am freaking out for a bit for a while. Do the check. Yes, it comes up, but like it comes up like it's still money owed on, but it's a lease repayment, right? So you know that the lease bubble has to get paid out. I ring the lady I'm buying the car from. She goes, yep, I paid it out yesterday. And the bank teller lady said it does take 5 days for that to go through. And she sounds legit. I said, I told you, I feel fine with this woman. Now you freaked me the F out. But I honestly felt okay. And then I went home and I thought about that. Rang the lady, she got the money, everything, and I said, I'll come down, pick up the car tomorrow, because it's like Easter traffic, Friday afternoon. I'm not coming down this afternoon. I'll come down in the morning. So again, I'm sitting with someone's holding my money and I don't have the car yet, but whatever. And I sat with that situation of the tellers and I thought to myself, that's me. I go between freaking out, fear sometimes but I'm living in this trust. So I float between the two. And then I was chatting with my friend Kira and I told Kira the story. Kira goes, Lise, you know, that's a mirror representation of the old you and the new you, part of you sitting in this trust, but you keep coming back to that element of fear. Like you've got to transition from ego over to full faith in the universe. And what happened was I sat with this, right? I'm going to read this out to you. I sat with my journal and I wrote this down and I thought to myself, why am I not feeling so trusting? Like I trust in the science. I trust this car's been presented to me. It ticks every box I want. The price dropped, like everything's aligning. I got it for the price I want. Everything's aligning. Why am I freaking out? So I just sat with it and universe, what do I need to know from this? And I started journaling, right? And I wrote down, look what we've provided for. There's a lesson in this. You need to listen to this because I needed this kick up the butt. And this is like, imagine the universe or my soul is saying to me, look what we've provided for you. Your piece of paradise in your new home, your buyer for your last home, easily and effortlessly, your soulmate, your family, your children, your studio, the right people, your right opportunities, your business, your creative ideas, your inspiration, your channel wisdom, your bursts of money that always comes to you. Do I need to go on? Why would this situation be any different? And this is pouring through me. I'm like writing it out so quickly. We've led you here. We've given you the signs. You've seen the signs. You've followed the breadcrumbs. It's aligned with ease and flow like your house. We've given you the evidence after evidence. You got the price that you wanted. That was also a fair price for the other party involved. A mutual transaction. Why do you need to check the engine? Do you not trust us? Get out of your logical thinking. Get out of your fear. It doesn't matter what people think with all their checks and crossing all the T's and dotting the I's. You don't work like that. You've leveled up beyond that limited human perspective. So why are you going back there? You operate on another dimensional level, which is why you'll get next level results and more ease and flow. But you've got to trust us. Trust we're supporting you. Trust we're aligning everything for you. So get out of your way and surrender. We have your back. We're listening to your desires, know what your soul needs, and just say thank you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got like this kick up the ass from the universe to just go with it. Trust, get out of the fear. And these two tellers were a representation of where I've been. And I'm like, no, I choose to put that in the past behind me, this new version of me. This is how she operates. She operates with divine trust. She operates with things line up because they're meant to. There were blocks that happened in this whole situation that I haven't even gone into. Blocks around, I was going to look at financing option and something come up around that blocked it as well. So I didn't end up going down that option, because if I had have gone down that option, I would have gone through a friend of mine that has a car dealership and got another car through him. And it's not until this next part of the story that I realized this is why I needed to go there. And I've been seeing 8/8s everywhere, 9s everywhere, triple 9s, and nines represent endings, that ending of that old version of me, that ending of that last story, that ending of the limiting beliefs of having to check everything, of living in fear. And 8s represent money. 8s represent abundance. So I'm seeing like 8s and 9s everywhere like you would not believe. I write that down, I journal that, I get the kick up the ass I needed from the universe. I'm like, fine, I trust, this is what I'm meant to do. I go down, I pick up my car, I go and I have a chat with this lady. She's beautiful, by the way, beautiful. And when I was looking at the car, a couple of things I didn't say. In the ad, in her name, she has one L in Michelle, which is like Riley's middle name. It has one L in her middle name, and my sister-in-law has the same spelling. When I'm looking at the dash, like in these pictures I'm zooming in on, the picture of the dash, it's like the two-tone, where it's got like the light in the middle of the Range Rover is like looks like white, but it's actually a light gray, and then the dark gray, and the dash is like light and like the light colors. So I zoom in and I'm looking in the ad, and it's got like 22 in the picture that she happened to take at that time. Oh, there's 22 in the radio or something. So there's all these little signs lining up that I'm like, I just need to go with the trust. Then when I go and pick my car up, Riley takes me down there and I'm chatting with this lady, and I just really feel this connection with this woman. And she said the same thing. Like she goes, I knew that I needed to meet you. I just had this feeling. And then we get talking and I'm like, oh my God, she's like me in certain elements. And certain elements of lining people. The universe drops you people in your life for a reason. So we chat for like an hour. Riley's messaging me like, where are you, Mum? Why are you still there? And we chat for an hour. We're talking about treats. She goes, I feel like I can talk to you and share things with you. I'm like, it's cool. A lot of people do. And we're chatting, and we're talking about retreats, and she might be interested in coming on a retreat with me down the track. She goes, you look after me on price, won't you? I'm like, hell yeah, I will. I will honor that, because she's looked after me. And so we got talking about retreats and talking about all these things. She's like, we need to catch up for a coffee sometime. She goes, let me take a photo of you in my car. Like, she loves this car. She absolutely loved her car. And she's taken a photo of me driving out in this car, and she sent it off to me, a really beautiful soul. And there was something that I helped her with, and something that has lined up. And I know that there is a mutual, there's a reason we cross paths. There's a reason these rainbow showed when I was going to her house. There's a reason that everything aligned and why I was meant to go down this path as opposed to going down through my friends with the car dealership. And I went with that and I trusted that. So then I'm driving home feeling this emotion and like I said, crying over just everything that had lined up. And I'm just crying, going, thank you, universe, for aligning this for me. Thank you for aligning everything, but not only for me, maybe I've sparked something in this woman. She's like following me on social media. Maybe I'm meant to connect with her. I don't know where the part of the story is going to go. We will see. But at this stage, I just felt this really beautiful feeling of trust. And I drove away going, I'm going to leave that part of me in the past as I drive off into the sunset in my new car with the sun streaming through the glass roof, which is what I wanted. Going, this is a new version of me, and this is all that she represents. I'm crying because I'm leaving behind that part of me that feels even emotional talking about it, but that part of me with my kids in the car. It's a whole new stage. It's a whole new season. And girls, we all go through this as mums. We all go through this. And I had to compose myself. This is good. Because I won't stop and redo my podcast, so I just have to roll with this. But I pulled these cards this morning, right? I've got them here. I pulled these cards this morning. One of them was around, they were all around rebirth. They were all around letting go. They were all around this new version of you. This one that I pulled here, it literally says in here, as you transition from one life phase to the next, with this rainbow light. I've been talking to Kira about all the rainbows that we've been seeing lately in the rainbow, going to get this car, and this was meant to be. This was the way it's meant to unfold. This is ready for this new version of me. This is ready for what I'm meant to do. Outside of my role of just being the mum. Outside of my role as just being the caregiver at home and making sure everything is perfect at home. This is where I'm meant to go. It's what I'm meant to do, and this is this new version of me. And I know that there's many of you that feel the same, and we hang on to those old parts of ourselves. We hang on to those parts of ourselves that are scared to go in this new stage of our life when our kids leave home or when our kids grow up. But I'm telling you, mums, like, there's so much more for us to do. There is so much more for our purpose outside of our role of being mum. And this is what that car represents for me. Sorry, not sorry, this needed to come up. But then I sat with all that this morning. I went through a meditation this morning. I'll show you some of these cards I pulled. This card, Celestial Realm. As I pull these cards, I was about to go into meditation, and I chose to do one of Kira's activations, right? This activation that I did was all around leveling up to your next level. As I'm about to go into this activation, this beautiful, I'm terrible with the names of birds. It was like an eagle, but a white one, right? Pure white, fucking huge. The biggest wingspan that I've ever seen. Just this morning, flies right past my tree. Huge. As it flies past, it's got all of these little plovers chirping at it. And if you go back and listen to my previous episode last week, I talk about something in there about the plovers and the eagles standing in their power. It's got all these little plovers chasing it. And to me, that represents this beautiful big eagle soaring off. The fear, the doubt, the chatter, the self-talk that kind of keeps us stuck, that keeps us small. So I saw that. Then I close my eyes. I go into my meditation. One of these cards is this Celestial Realm. So in my meditation or in my visioning journey when I'm doing Kira's activation, it's like I'm following that eagle that literally physically just flew past me. I close my eyes and I keep the vision of that, and I'm following this eagle. It takes me up to this Celestial Realm. In this realm, I feel like I go through this whole process of a rebirth where I feel like I just roll with it. I feel like I pull this card, which is about this rainbow light and this life transition from one life to another. And I had this vision of being like, again, burnt, because one of these cards speaks about initiation by fire. And this card talks all about rebirth of the phoenix. So in my vision, I get this feeling like where that burning of the stake, like that burning, and the part that I feel the heat and I feel the fire from is around my head, is around this getting out of my head, like no more going from thinking, like no more getting stuck in the thoughts, no more getting stuck in the fear. I feel this burning away of that ego part of me, like no more, like thank you ego. I think of the ego as like, this like little angel of protection. Thank you, but I don't need you anymore. If something comes in that I'm actually feeling unsafe, or actually I need that ego to get me out of an unsafe situation that I might die, yes, come in. But if not, ego, take a back seat. I'm burning that away and I'm going with trust. I choose to trust that ego. For me, it represents that higher power. I choose to trust in divine connection. I choose to trust in faith. I choose to trust in my signs. I choose to trust in my spirit, and no more of that ego fear keeping me safe. Just like the two tellers that I was talking to you about, that past version of me, that new version of me, this is where I'm going. So in this activation with Kira, all this fire is around like my head and around getting out of my logical thinking and getting back into my heart space and burning away that part of me that has been stuck in fear. Letting go of that and stepping into this new part of me. And it was such a powerful meditation. I come out of this, I went, all right, I need to go record a podcast about this right now, why it's fresh, like why I'm feeling all the feels, and how I can kind of explain to you and share with you this whole transition of how 2 weeks ago was a shitty situation when my car engine blew up, to what it has transformed me into now. I've aligned. I pulled a couple of days ago, I pulled that day when my car engine blew up was the same day, now that I think about it, that I met Sally. Sally, I went to her Women's International Day event. Sally Watson from Career Creators. I went to her event. I met her. I pulled a card because then I went to another event of hers, a BNI. And that afternoon, she texted me and said, let's catch up for coffee. And she's a business coach and she can help with strategy and things. And she said, let's catch up for coffee. And I thought about it. I pulled a card, and the card was around alliance, forming strategic alliance to help you level up. And I went, okay, I think I need to meet with this woman. Let's go for it. I went and I chat with her, and I go, I'm going to work with Sally. Like, I made a decision that I'm going to work with her. This all come about the day that my Jeep engine died. So, and I think about the new version of me with all these big dreams and goals of what I want to create. Sally's come into my life at this time as well to help me with putting all of my ideas and putting all of my procrastination and my fear and doubts. She's going to help me strategize and help me with ideas moving forward and how I can actually put these ideas out into the world. So when I look back now, I can sit here now, and it was not easy. All these things that I've had to go through. This is not just about me driving my new Range Rover Evoque. This is about this whole story that I have just told you and what it represents. And moving forward, how this forms part of my story, part of this leveled up version of me. It's such a powerful story. And this is why I wanted to share it with you, because I've turned a challenging situation into, I've looked at it through the eyes of what can I learn out of this? What needs to come from this? And I sat with it and I've journaled on it. I've breathed over it. I've sat with the fear. I've sat with the doubt. I've shifted my perspective. I've trusted and followed the breadcrumbs to come out of this whole situation going, I did not expect that. I did not expect all of those things to happen. So I want to leave that with you, because people say to me sometimes, I don't know how to get out of a funk. And I was in a funk when that happened. I was definitely in a funk. I was definitely disappointed. I was definitely frustrated. I was definitely emotional. I was definitely, why is this happening right now? To now going, thank you. Like, thank you for everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for bringing me to this new version of me that is meant to be here. And I trust in what's going to happen moving forward. So I'm going to wrap that up. And I hope that I have left you with something to think about. Sorry, not sorry about the tears and the emotion. I'm probably looking a bit of a mess now, but who cares? This is what we go through, ladies. Like, it's not always, rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it is. I want to share with you, like, yes, things line up for me, but there are hard things along the way in the process as well. But I choose trust, and I choose faith, and I choose to trust in myself, trust in my signs. And that is what I want to teach you. And that is what I want to empower you to believe. Start shifting your perspective. Start grounding, start journaling, start asking for guidance, start looking out for your signs and trusting your signs. And this 8-week coaching program that I'm putting together, that it's happening, girls. Like, Sally's helping me bring all this together. It's happening. It'll be out very, very soon. Is going to teach you so much of this, so much trust in yourself, so much returning to your authenticity, so much nourishing yourself, so much stepping in this feminine energy. Man, I will share with you about this in the marketing and the socials, because it's next level epic. Even Sally's like, I want in. I need to do this program with you as well. So it's going to be amazing. So stay tuned. That's out very, very soon. Sending you so much light and love, angels. Have the most beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And I will talk to you soon, my friends. Bye.